What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, much is being made of the negotiation tactics ahead of this highly anticipated lightweight catchweight showdown between undefeated three-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis and undefeated lightweight junior welterweight superstar title contender in Ryan Garcia. That's set to take place April 22nd, Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's being mentioned that Floyd Mayweather himself is behind these negotiations, okay? And Mayweather Promotions, although Ryan Garcia is no longer signed to Mayweather Promotions. Gervonta Tank Davis is no longer signed to Mayweather Promotions, okay? That Floyd Mayweather still directed Gervonta Tank Davis in the direction of the negotiation tactics used, because a lot is being made of the catchweights. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis, he boasts a record of 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 26 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. Ryan Garcia holds a record of 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis, obviously, he's been on the biggest stage way longer and way more experienced than Ryan Garcia. He's a pay-per-view star. He's been headlining pay-per-view cards for quite some time. He's broken live gate records at the Barclays Center and at the Capital One Arena. He sells out every arena he's in. So we know for a fact that Gervonta Tank Davis is the A-side. And Floyd Mayweather, he was featured in one of the biggest fights at the time, the biggest fight in boxing history, back in 2007, when he faced off against retired Olympic gold medalist, 6th division world champion, Mexican-American superstar boxer, Hall of Fame iconic boxer, and Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya, right? At the time, Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather, that broke all the records known to boxing in pay-per-view and revenue, okay? That was, at the time, the biggest fight in boxing history, okay? And in that fight, and in that negotiations, Oscar De La Hoya, he was the A-side, okay? Now, that fight is so far removed, many people may not understand that the tactics and the negotiations. Now, that took place Cinco de Mayo weekend of 2007. And Oscar De La Hoya, he was the man in that fight, okay? He was 38 wins with 4 losses already by the time he fought Floyd Mayweather in 2007, okay? Oscar De La Hoya, he already lost to Bernard Hopkins by knockout. He already lost to Shane Mosley twice, okay? And he had that loss, you know, the big one, to Felix Tito Trinidad, okay? That was back in 99. But Oscar De La Hoya, he still was the golden boy, okay? He still was the cash cow. Now, he finished his career with a record of 39 wins, 6 losses, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. Twice in his career, he was knocked out. That was in his very last fight against Manny Pacquiao and his fight with Bernard Hopkins, right? And so at the time when Oscar De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather, again, like I said, obviously Floyd Mayweather, who retired 50 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 wins by way of knockout, is a 5-division world champion. Okay, obviously Floyd Mayweather was undefeated when he and Oscar De La Hoya fought. We know this because he retired undefeated, okay? So with that said, you know, Floyd Mayweather, you know, he was already a 4-division world champion, okay? He was already considered a pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, okay? He was already, you know, a pay-per-view star, right? On the verge of becoming a superstar, right? He already was 37 wins with no losses and no draws, okay? So he was a big deal already, Floyd Mayweather was. But yet and still, Oscar De La Hoya, he controlled the pay-per-view. He controlled the narrative, okay? And so because of that, you know, he chose, now Floyd Mayweather was already 37 wins with no loss, no draw, and 25 wins by way of knockout, okay? 25 wins by way of knockout with 37 wins overall. And he already was a pay-per-view star and a 4-division world champion, okay, at the time. And so Oscar De La Hoya was still the man, although he already had 4 losses and been knocked out once and 3 other decision losses, right? Close fights with Shane Mosley, close fight with Trinidad, close fight with Bernard Hopkins, but nonetheless, he lost. And he was already a 6th division champion, Oscar De La Hoya, right? And he chose and had control of everything. It was a 70-30 split in favor of Oscar De La Hoya, okay? He chose the ring size. He chose the weight class they fought at. He chose the glove size. He chose the date. He chose everything, right? Floyd Mayweather just essentially went along for the ride, and he was already a Hall of Famer. Floyd Mayweather was already a Hall of Famer at that point. If he never fought Oscar De La Hoya, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer already, right? And Oscar De La Hoya was still the cash cow. And so when you look at this situation with Gervonta Tank Davis, the tides and the roles have reversed. Okay, and Gervonta Tank Davis in this situation is the clear A side. Now, he's not as accomplished as Floyd Mayweather, and Ryan Garcia is nowhere near accomplished as neither one of those guys, right? But in that aspect, Gervonta Tank Davis is the A side. So now there's a catch weight of 136. There's a rehydration clause, a 10 pounds rehydration clause limit. Okay. They chose Ryan, according to Ryan Garcia, they wanted to have the rematch clause in favor of them, even if they lose. They want to choose the ring size, so on and so forth, right? And so with that said, okay, these are being viewed as tactics of Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions to poke at Oscar De La Hoya and to control the narrative. And they put Gervonta Tank Davis in the best position to win. Now, the difference here is that didn't work for Oscar De La Hoya because he lost, right? He tried to bring Floyd Mayweather to a weight class that he was never in, 154, right? To make it, he was too big for Floyd Mayweather, right? To bring him out of his element. He put Floyd Mayweather in big gloves to slow Floyd Mayweather's hand speed down, right? He chose the ring size. He shrunk the ring to slow down the ability of Floyd Mayweather being able to maneuver and move around the ring, okay? He chose the location, date, so on and so forth. He put Floyd Mayweather in every disadvantage possible, and it didn't work. In this case, Ryan Garcia is 2 fights removed from fighting at 135, and he's 2 years removed from fighting at 135. So Ryan Garcia, he wanted this fight to take place at 140, junior welterweight division, where he's fought his last 2 fights. And Gervonta Tank Davis has already had a fight at that weight class. Now, obviously, Ryan Garcia wanted that. Of course, Ryan Garcia views that as an advantage because he has a clear size advantage over Gervonta Tank Davis. So, of course, Ryan Garcia wanted this fight to take place at a higher weight class because he feels like that's an advantage. And Gervonta Tank Davis was having none of it. And Gervonta Tank Davis said, okay, well, you're going to have to come down. We're going to have to agree to a catch weight. So instead of fighting at 135, the fight's going to take place at 136, 1 pound. Now, I believe that's petty on the part of Ryan Garcia because 136, you can sacrifice 1 more pound and lose 1 more pound, right? He is a grown boy. And Gervonta Tank Davis said, if you look at Ryan Garcia's size, he's extremely big and still growing. People want me to be a fool and fight him at a higher weight class to give him the advantage. And again, I understand where Gervonta Tank Davis is coming from. Now, when it comes to the rehydration clause, that's where I differ. And I say, well, a rehydration clause, I don't like that. If you make weight, the day you make weight, that's it. You should be able to rehydrate. Okay. Floyd Mayweather never put a rehydration clause on his fighters. Now, he did have a catch weight that everybody points to with Canelo Alvarez of 152 instead of the full limit of 154. But that was on Canelo Alvarez. He put the carriage before the horse because he was throwing out that notion that he'll fight at 154 to ensure he gets the fight. And Floyd Mayweather said, okay, I'll take it. We was going to give you the fight at 154. And the proof is Floyd Mayweather didn't put no rehydration clause. So that shows you that he could care less about the extra 2 pounds, right? And he dominated and won every single round. So, Gervonta Tank Davis was with Mayweather Promotions for, I believe, 7 years. And his last fight was May 28th against Rolly Romero. He parted ways, and he's since had one fight with GTD Promotions on his own, partnering up with Showtime President Sports Steven Espinosa. And now this will be his second fight, but he brought in Mayweather Promotions, and everybody's pointing to the tactics. But again, I got to say this. Even if Floyd Mayweather was involved some way, somehow, well, we know they was involved. Leonard Ellaby, Mayweather Promotions CEO, he stated that they sent the first contract over. So we know that they was involved. They sent the first contract over to Golden Boy. Well, obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis needed that experience in that back end, and they sent the contract over. Steven Espinosa is a network. And so just keep in mind, though, you know, we know that they're involved, but that didn't work for Oscar De La Hoya. It worked out bad. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But Gervonta Tank Davis is smart for involving Floyd Mayweather. But that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. I'm going. Peace.
Garcia Bumgarner, you're watching Blue Bud Sports TV. Wow.